Do we need one clean slate just in case?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay, perfect. Hi.
Hello, check 1, 2. Are we on? Microphones on?
I'm not supposed to move the mic. I'm gonna sit like this the whole time. Just kidding.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the second real episode.
Second real episode. You haven't even heard the first episode, so what if they hate it?
Well, the first one was a joke.
Yeah.
So that was
This
a
is
JK.
the first. No, this is the second one.
This is 3. Second 2, 3. We've upped our production value immensely.
I was gonna be like by a million.
By
no,
a million.
it's still. I was just noticing that I didn't have as much light as Luisa in the last one. And she had all the sun, and I was sitting in the shadows. And it's probably she put me here in the dark because
you said you wanted your good side of your face showing. I said I would do whatever. And then I just happened to be like in a sunbeam, just like looking gorgeous.
You looked great, and I was in the dark.
Well, I looked ugly, but like good lighting. You know what I mean?
Isn't that us all?
And isn't that us all?
Oh my God.
So,
okay.
yeah, we're back.
I need to address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Copper isn't here.
I know.
He was a paid actor in the first episode.
Oh, it's actually really sad without
I
him.
feel like kind of like we're missing our third host.
We're missing our third host. Our mascot, ultimately.
And he is actually, I mean, I know
People
I've
think
had
you're about to announce his death. Like, it's okay.
Copper's not dead.
Copper's alive.
He's alive. He is in Vermont with his, I kind of have joint ownership with him and my aunt. And he goes up there for the holidays while I'm traveling a lot.
It's funny that you just like give him up in the winter because you're like, I'm cold.
I can't. It's so cozy.
Yeah, I get it though.
It's really sad though.
I know. I get sad when I don't have Maisie.
It feels like I'm missing something.
Yeah, my dad keeps trying to buy Maisie off of me. Like, he loves her, and he's like, can I just have her? Just give her. Like, when I got laid off, he was like, I'll literally pay you for Maisie. He's kind of joking.
And Maisie was like free.
Yeah, Maisie was like an adoptee. So, no,
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop. Josh just says, like, shop, don't adopt, because those dogs need homes, too. And I'm like, you're a bad person.
Wait, that's kind of true.
No, don't even.
Like,
he's like,
what if I want
what happens if nobody wants those dogs? I'm like,
yeah.
Those dogs. No, but what was I just saying? Yeah, it's sad when I don't have Maisie. Like, it's annoying when I have her sometimes because I have to walk her and do stuff, but it's worse when I don't have her.
I feel like the foot of my bed is cold.
Oh, I feel like this couch is cold.
And I don't think Copper would like the lights.
No, I don't think he would even sit
be
over
like,
here.
No
be
photos,
like,
please.
Should I leave?
Should I leave? Oh yes, welcome to episode 2 of Should We Leave?
We leave?
We hope you enjoyed the first episode.
People are resonating already with the mindset of, I want to leave.
Yeah, I want to leave.
All my people in my life are in their 30s, kind of, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna leave.
I have been at a lot of events and
I know
things.
you need to catch me up because
Okay.
I've done nothing this week. I've been so stressed out with work.
That is like, okay, so my brother's in town visiting, and so it just has been something every night of the week, and it's been really fun, but the only way I would have been able to do it is that I've had advance notice that...
To do what?
To just be out every night.
Oh, you're saying that's not a normal thing. You had advance notice.
Yeah, these things were planned.
Well, you have to like give yourself a month to like prep.
Mentally prepare
for it.
Yeah, I needed to know about this time last year what I was doing now.
I need a year in advance.
I can not have a breakdown.
Totally.
So Tuesday night I went to Trisha Paytas,
which
Trishmas.
I need to hear about.
Like, I don't even know where to begin about the unhingedness of that show.
You need to start by explaining to me the lore behind
Oh
who
my
is Trisha
Really?
Paytas?
Treepska. Paytas, Trisha Paytas. To me, she's just the internet. Like, she was on YouTube when she was like, I feel like she's one of the first YouTubers before being a YouTuber was a thing.
Okay.
Like,
before being an influencer was a thing.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
She's known for just being a troll to get views. Like,
okay.
she'll just like make videos that are like shock and
rage
awe.
bait, kind of.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one where she was like, I'm trans. And she just wasn't.
She's not.
I was like,
you could not.
But I actually don't
that.
know. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if that ever resolved itself,
It's
but
funny
I'm
because
like,
that stuff does get a ton of comments and views. Like one time I posted a video of me with the old filter and nobody knew that it was fake. Like they really believed it. And they were being like, stop pretending to be young. Like you're so old. You look so old. Like they were so mad at me.
there's so much lore to it, and I'm like not the right person to be asking about the history of her, and there's so many other people that could tell you about it. But she like claims to be like the originator of like the YouTube mukbang.
Oh, gross.
Where you would just eat on camera, and then
why is that a thing?
I mean, people find it enjoyable.
To me, that's my nightmare. That is
Really?
my worst. Do you remember at the end of George Orwell's 1984, he dies by getting he dies by
No, I don't.
You weren't expecting somebody to reference George Orwell's 1984.
I don't remember the ending of that.
I reference it a lot. He gets eaten by rats because it's his biggest fear. Like you eventually at the end of it, you die by like your biggest fear. For me, it would be like in a room of people chewing, and like that's how I would die.
I absolutely hate that.
Isn't that what mukbang is?
Right.
She's like, nom, nom, nom.
But I cannot stand the sound of somebody else eating. And it causes something to switch inside of me.
No.
Where I want to kill that person.
Yes. Have you heard of
It's called something.
It's called, my sister and I both have it. It's called,
and I think I have it too.
Misophonia.
Something.
And it makes me violent. There are certain people who
I want to take the knife.
No, like I've left places before because of how people chew their gum. Like
I think I was at my aunt's upstate. It was pin silent while we're eating dinner. I was like,
I can't.
I turned my phone, put on soft Christmas jazz, and set my phone in the middle of the table so that I could like
it out.
At least like dull the sharpness of how it makes me feel.
Oh, I'm sick. Yeah.
Like it's not even like people chewing with their mouth open or like it's not that. It's like just hearing the.
No, don't do it. Don't. I'm sick.
I
know exactly what you're saying.
Just in like hearing them swallow it and everything.
No, it's disgusting. And so I don't understand mukbang. That's my nightmare.
Yeah.
But
it's
she
like
claims to have invented it.
Right. It's like a different, I don't know. Everyone has their own thing.
Wait, really quickly. Do you remember at MTV? I feel like I sent you this video recently. There's a girl called Breadface Blog who just smashes her face into bread. And we did it at work.
Yeah. And you...
I shoved my face into bread.
But people have their own, like, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. People have their things that they're into. Mm-hmm. And if it's smashing your face into bread, go for it.
So be it.
I don't want to eat the bread.
And I don't want to watch. Well.
So she was singing, like, all 10 of her original Christmas songs.
Is she like a bad singer?
It's not good.
Sorry, my hip is, I'm having like a
stretch
hip.
out. Get comfortable.
Like a hip problem. Oh, okay.
And she just sings these songs, and she's like not the best singer, but like people cheer her on. Well, she's just not a singer, and people just cheer her on, like, because it's funny, but also like they want to support someone like living their dreams.
Her level of fandom is like one of those things where she can do whatever she wants, and they're going to support her.
Right. I mean, I can't believe you haven't seen like that video of her sitting in her kitchen singing "Shallow" at the top of her lungs.
No, I don't think I've literally ever seen it.
This is so. I mean, the internet is a wild, wild west.
There's just so much.
There's so much of it, and I'm glad we're on like different.
We're on different algorithms, I guess.
Yeah. It was a sold out show, and now that she sold out that show, it was at the Beacon Theater.
No way.
Sold out.
Okay, Trishmas.
And now that people have seen that she can sell out the Beacon Theater, they're giving her a Broadway run.
Wait, I saw
of her own show. I think it might be just.
I saw that Trisha Paytas is making her Broadway debut.
Yeah.
Isn't it like one night only?
She announced that at our show.
Maybe I heard it like from you.
I think it's one night only, but it's at the St. James Theater, which is like a legit Broadway theater.
That's crazy.
Which, good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I also saw a Broadway show this week too, and like there's something in me that gets like emotional seeing people win and like people succeed and like what their dreams are, and it never fails. Like going to a Broadway show You just zoned out, and I was
Did
like,
you see me leave my body for a second? I got into a really good stare. Have you ever done that? And you're like, this feels really good, and I don't know what's happening over here.
Am I boring you, sweetie?
No, I really did just go cross-eyed, but I'm listening. I'm so sorry. And I was nodding going, mm-hmm. No, I'm listening.
Just seeing people at the top of their game is really
well, what I was thinking
cool.
when I was zoning out is that I want to be at the top of my game, and I was picturing myself on a Broadway stage, and I like left this room, I went somewhere else. Like, I know I could be on Broadway if I wanted to, but the reason I'm not, what's stopping me is honestly my sister and my friends putting out negative energy about like not wanting my success. Like, I think that there's people in my life that are not supporting me the way they should. I told my sister, I was like, because my sister wants me to move back to Boston. So she's like, just quit. Like, just stop. You don't need to do comedy.
Just
like,
stop.
Whatever. She's like, you don't need to do comedy. Just like move home and be a normal person. And I'm like, you're the reason I'm not on Broadway. Yeah. If you were not putting out this negative energy, I'd be doing a high kick on
Broadway.
I would be a rockette.
A rockette.
And the reason I'm not on Broadway has nothing to do with me. It's all about you guys putting out whoever it is out there. My sister's the leader of the bunch. Yeah.
Ripping your Broadway legs off.
That's my new thing is I'm like, I could do Broadway. That's not the peak of my...
Broadway's just the beginning.
That's elementary for me.
I think it's cool.
It is, yeah, it is cool. It's cool that it's cool what the internet can give you, ultimately.
Right.
And like, I was so like resistant to it for a while as someone who's just been doing stand-up for a long time. I was like, no, you have to get on stage, serve your time, do it the right way. But like... why, I guess. Mm-hmm. If people are doing it and getting, like, there are people who've never done stand-up a day in their life, but they get famous online, and then they're touring. There's touring around the world doing stand-up. And it's like, what do you mean you've never done stand-up? But at that point, they have a fan base that's so obsessed with them, they can say whatever they want. Yep. And just be themselves, and that's going to get laughter. And I think I've done, like, a lot of work with stand-up, and I've put in, like, the time, and now I'm ready to just be, like... Now I'm ready to just like have an audience and like have the people that get me and like laugh with me.
Yeah.
That's like what I want.
Internet fame is such an interesting thing. It's still and so new. I feel like we're about to have like not revolution, but like a rebirth of the internet pending the TikTok ban. And like there might be an opportunity for a new bombshell to enter the villa. And
new bombshells to enter the villa.
Yes.
Oh, you meant a new bombshell, an app.
Yeah.
But then provides space for new bombshells.
Right. And it's very interesting because you and I both work in social, so this will affect us in whatever way. And so it's kind of just like no one knows what to plan for other than the fact that like
it? Like
I do.
I always think it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. They keep saying it's going to be gone.
I do, and I think that just time will tell. Like I can say that there's a lot of people continuing with their strategies as usual, but there's also at the same time we're planning like contingency of like how to pivot, how to shift, because TikTok exists in such a different way than Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever other video platform.
Yeah. But do you remember in 2020, like just internet fame has changed so much. In 2020, people were famous for being like, what were those? They were like,
I'm a savage.
Yeah. Like I don't even know a single, how do you do that? Screet. Like that's what internet fame was back then, and now it's like we look back at that and we're like, why were we making those people famous in 2020? Huh?
The internet is a fickle place, and I think it's just as long as we're showing up authentically how we want to, and it also none of it matters.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. It like literally, it's like I don't know. Making this podcast with you is I don't know what
like
the right word is.
Letting go, kind of.
Like letting go, and it's not that serious. But at the same time, it's like, I think you're representing a part of the population that's like, I should just put my shit out there. I have good stuff, but feels like, I don't know how that's going to be perceived. How will I be perceived? I've already like
Like, you haven't done that yet. I've, like, been perceived a little bit already.
Yeah.
And I've kind of gotten over the hump of, like, I'll just put whatever. Like, I'll ask my cousin, I'll be like, is this embarrassing, this post? And she's like, have you seen any of the other stuff you've put online?
Ever put online?
I thought it was funny, and so I just put it on there, and, like, someone else out there thought it was funny, you know?
100%. Just putting yourself out there is vulnerable, but what the fuck? Just do it.
Just do it. And you're so funny too. Like, and you're funny, and I think you should share that.
Not you having therapy with me on our own
world.
podcast.
I think you should share that with the world, truly. And it's kind of.
I've always been behind the camera, and I think that it's just being in production and being the type of person I am, and I think the type of person you are too is like want to just present my best foot forward, and but telling myself like you gotta start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. I've let go of the perfectionist thing,
and I need to do that
because it took a while, I guess. But I have already put so much stuff out that's like.
How many videos do you think you've made?
Thousands, probably.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Started almost in college. I was posting just anything
on
that came to my mind. Instagram. If you go back to my college posts, there's like weird shit that nobody else was it was all like girls posting pictures with their friends, which I did do that, not trying to be a pick me. I did do that. But I would also be like, here's a picture of me in like a fat cow suit with like butt. Like I did like weird shit already, and I was putting it on the internet, and it was well received by my small circle of people who followed me at that point. So I just got weirder and weirder slowly. Like it was such a slow thing. In college, I posted slow decline to just mental illness. But I slowly got weirder and weirder and realized that it was resonating with people. And it was really slow, so that by the time TikTok was the thing, and by the time Instagram Reels and being like famous on social media was the thing, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And then my song videos popped off like 2 years ago, and that was all people wanted from me. They were like, we don't give a fuck about you unless you're making fun of a song. And so I'm trying to figure out what my next move is out of that.
Right.
Because I'm sick of that joke.
Yeah.
It is like a sickness, I will say. Like to get validation from strangers on the internet, and to get validation from strangers in a room of people that you don't know, like stand up, is not healthy, but it is like really validating. And I think for me, like my sense of humor, being able to put something out and have people be like, oh my God, yes, this happens to me too. It's like, okay, everyone's having the same stuff happen to them. We're just not like saying it. You know, I have friends going through stuff that's like so isolating and so lonely, but it's actually not just them. I just think we need to like be more authentic about what's going on.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
So I think
like sharing. Yeah.
I like feel like this is good for you.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I think that's like, why does this voice matter? Like in a sea where there's so many other voices that need to be heard first.
Yeah.
I don't want to be taking up too much space, but also want to be holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
I hold your finger. This is us holding space. No, but it's such a good point. And like I've been doing it for so long, comedy, that I feel like I am almost like numb to that, where I'm like, but why? I guess you're right. Like, why does anyone care what I have to say? But I think the answer is that they don't care. And your voice actually doesn't matter. Like, I think it's just a silly, goofy, doesn't matter.
There's plenty of room.
There's room for everyone.
There's room for everyone. And I feel like as long as we're not cannibalizing someone else's chance that might deserve it better, then maybe. I don't know. I think we'll probably cut this part out.
You're getting to like,
philosophical.
No, not philosophical, but you're like, you think you're like not good enough to be heard. It's just interesting. Someone like you who's been so involved in content from behind the scenes and has never really taken the step to be like, let's put myself in front.
Yeah.
It's really vulnerable.
Yeah. I think that's just something that I'm like going through like in real time as we're sitting here.
Like we're sitting here,
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like why am I doing this? And then I just have to come back to like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And I think that the stuff that we have is really funny, and it like makes me laugh. And now that I'm saying it out loud, it's like I am creative so much for other people.
So much.
We expend the majority of our creative energy and output goes to like helping other people and brands succeed. And there's little left for us.
Totally. I'm exhausted at the end of the day.
In the short 4 weeks that we've been talking and doing this, like this has been such a welcome creative outlet where we can like feel like we're making something to help us and make us feel good. Yeah,
even just for us. Like for me, it's like
even if we just have our 54 followers.
We're good with 53. Yeah. Like it makes me happy to connect with people and to know that like my experiences are somewhat universal. Yeah. And like I think that's all it's about. We're not getting on here being like, here's how we can save the planet. Climate change is bad. Like we're not pretending to be something we're not also.
Yeah. And it's like the title of your other podcast, Nobody Asked.
Nobody asked for like any of this.
Yeah. And maybe we should leave, but we're here.
We should leave, but we're here.
Yeah.
And we are going to stay.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's just something you're working through.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome. We are so back. We needed that. Like I feel.
We are back, and I feel like we're starting a new podcast.
No, literally, this is welcome to episode 2 because I don't know what happened to me before. We did just order food. So we're back.
Okay, yeah, we took a little break. We picked up Stevie from work, and we needed the break, I think.
We were exhausted.
It's just my brother has been in town, and I feel like my social calendar has been stacked, and then work at the same time is just insane. And so we got to this, and we really were trying to do it today because we want to have our weekend to breathe. And just felt like drained.
So tired. I was drinking a Celsius, which I don't really do, but I was like, and then I realized I just actually needed food, which is crazy because we forget and then we fuel our body with like the craziest things. Like I'm like, do you have a Celsius? But like really, I just needed 5,000 tacos.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about when I handed you the phone? I did the order on my phone and I go, okay, here, you put your order in. And he goes, did you already do it? And I see him look down and he bursts out laughing. I had put like 7,000 things in the cart. It's like view cart, parentheses, 17.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, it's just for me.
Just for you.
Just for me.
Like,
I needed 3 tacos. Have you ever seen the sketch that's like 100 coffees, 55 pies, 55 tacos, 55 fries? Oh, it's so funny. He starts a pay it forward line at a drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
Where like you say, I'll pay for the person behind me. And so he starts it and then he drives back around knowing that he started it and puts in like a massive order. So the person in front of him has to like pay for it. It's very funny.
That used to happen all the time when I worked at a drive-thru.
That's such a stupid concept.
It's like, I want to be nice. And I'm like, makes it so much more complicated for the people who are working. It's like, now I have to ring up, like, what order is yours? Now I have to ring this up over here and and then sometimes, then it's so awkward for the person, like the register person, being like, the person in front of you had 1 coffee for like $3.45, and then
you're supposed to pay.
You're the person in front of you paid for your coffee. Would you like to pay for the person behind you? And then it's a family of 20.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the sketch is about.
And it's like, it'll be $300.
Yes.
And they're like, no, I'm good.
I'm good. That's what this sketch is about. He starts it knowing it's going to be a chain, and then he drives back around and orders 55 tacos, 55 fries, 55 blah, 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 like 55 pot. If it was like a family of 8, I'm like, I'm ending this chain.
I'm ending it all.
I'm ending it. Just period. I'm ending it.
And get out of the drive-thru.
And get out of town.
And get out of my life.
But here's what I was saying before we left. I have started, my bedtime routine has gotten, if somebody FaceTimes me at 10 p.m., I'm not answering because I look crazy. Well, I answered for you. I answered from my friends, but I wear a bonnet to bed. I tape my mouth shut. At what point are things so dark for you that you start grasping at any trend that comes across your feed? Like, I'll tape my mouth shut, sure, to feel something.
Tape my eyes shut.
Tape my eyes shut. So I'm going to sleep. My nose, I've got a chip clip on my nose. I've got mouth tape. I have my head is wrapped in a bonnet. I'm in a straight jacket. Like, I'll just do whatever to get a good night's sleep.
Literally.
You know?
The mouth tape is one step too far.
So I do feel ridiculous doing it, but do you understand? Okay, this is another thing I wrote down.
I can't breathe out of my nose, though. during
so
the night.
I can, though, breathe out of my nose. That's the one thing I can do is breathe out of my nose.
That's all you got going for you.
The one thing I'm like good at. But I wrote down, because I wanted to bring this up. Do you ever find yourself explaining something to somebody and halfway through you're like, by the way, this is completely made up?
No.
This is not based off of anything.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself the other day being like, so the reason I'm like talking to somebody and then I came to and I was like, what am I talking? I saw one TikTok and I'm like, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. I was being like, so when you tape your mouth shut, the way you're breathing puts you into like a deeper REM sleep. So you get, and I'm like, halfway through, I was like, wait, I actually don't know. But apparently what happens is the way you're breathing puts you into REM sleep. So you're getting more deep sleep. But when you have more deep sleep and you're in REM cycle, you're having more dreams. So when I tape my mouth shut, I have psychotic dreams. Like dress up as the Pope and run around your high school track. I'm like, okay, like, you know. So yeah, you look at yourself with your mouth taped shut, your eyes glued shut, you've got a helmet on, and you're just like, at what point should I just get a therapist?
I think that should be step one.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Do
you have a therapist?
No, but I do have really good health insurance incoming, so I will be getting I'll be getting like therapists.
Yeah, like one a day.
One a day.
A different one for a different
One
day.
a day weight loss. Like I want what is that also? What is one a day?
I don't know what one a day weight loss is.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh, that's like I don't know. It's like
It reminds me of Slim Fast. Do you remember that?
Yeah, like diet culture.
Where
in the
people would just
2000s.
drink these milkshakes
Yes,
in a can.
It's like we talked about keto. Like we were just putting butter in our coffee.
Oh,
Lord.
Why did we do that?
I don't know.
It just goes back to like thinking that one TikTok is fully researched and
That's
you believe it.
Clinical study.
It's a clinical study.
Yes.
This person, it has 10,000 likes, and this is now proven
It'll be
fact.
even like in the hundreds of likes. Like it's not even a video that's popping off, and I see it,
and
I'm
I
like,
believe it.
oh, okay. It's like some crazy woman.
For some reason, I believe anything.
So do I, though. Everything. You said anything, and I said everything. Like, yeah. I watched a Christmas movie this week that was absolutely insane.
Which one was it?
Psychotic. You may have seen it on my Instagram story. I posted about it. It's called I Believe in Santa Claus. And it is a grown woman who starts dating a grown man, and she's like, he's amazing. My friend told me to watch it. She goes, it should be a true crime documentary. It's crazy. So she starts dating this guy. He's like, they're in his 30s, and she's like, he's perfect. Like, what could possibly go wrong? And then eventually in their relationship, he's like, so I believe in Santa. And she's like, hey, so that's insane.
Like he's coming out.
Like he's like, just so you know, like I do believe in Santa, and like, why not? And she's like, well, I have a lot of reasons why not. And he's just like a big old creep who believes in Santa. And it's so like dating in your 30s where it's like, there's gotta be one thing always wrong.
Okay.
They're gonna believe in Santa, or they're gonna something crazy is gonna happen. Like, oh, they're perfect except they believe in Santa. Like that's not okay. And the movie ends by she ends up accepting him because
for who he is.
Because his Muslim friend goes, listen, I'm Muslim, and some people don't like that I believe in certain things, so let him believe in certain things. And she's like, you know, you're so right.
Like God.
Sorry. That's a religion. That's a full-blown religion. We're talking about Santa.
So this is it like a romantic comedy?
Yes.
And they were just like,
she goes to his apartment and it's crazy. It's like decorated. There's like toy trains and shit. And she's just like, oh.
So she's dating this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and his big secret is that he actually believes in Santa Claus.
Like as an adult man.
And like truly is like living it. Like it's like worshiping it.
He's real. And she's like, well, he's not. And he's like, well, why not? And she's like, well.
Here's why. Did you see the Netflix movie Hot Frosty?
It's crazy.
Did you see it?
Yes. The way the doctor goes, he's not a snowman. And she goes, yes, he is. And the doctor goes, oh, yeah, you're right. Like the doctor just accepts it right away.
Oh, yeah. He's negative 30 degrees, so he's alive.
The whole town says, oh,
but I kind of want to live in a town like that.
A little tiny Hallmark cozy town.
Well, just like the people are just like, yeah, he's a snowman. Just leave him alone.
It was crazy. Just let him be.
Your guy and Hot Frosty, they live in the same universe. He's one town over.
Totally. And he's just this guy in the movie is creepy. He's like not hot, and
not hot.
No, he's not hot, which makes it. That's maybe the problem.
I know that's what.
That might be the actual problem.
You have to be hot in that movie. If you're gonna be like that, you have to be hot.
If you're gonna believe in Santa Claus at 35 years old, you have to be hot. So I left that out. I'm sorry. He's ugly, and he believes in Santa, and he's like. He like holds mistletoe over his head and he's like
creepy weird.
Creepy like
Now I can like you could get on board with Hot Frosty because he's hot.
Hot Frosty's hot.
Do you know who that guy is?
That's actually so funny. Yeah, Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
He was hot in Schitt's Creek, but I didn't think he was
hotter
in
Schitt's Creek.
Way hotter. I thought
something happened, and I was like
too skinny or too something.
Maybe it was the long hair.
Long hair.
But in Schitt's Creek, I was like, oh,
he was hot.
But he was like the runner veterinarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who is that guy? Who is that guy?
Yeah.
And so of course I'm over here like searching him while we're watching it, and like. Stevie thinks that I'm like
Hot
looking
Frosty.
up hot pictures of him. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out who this is. And I don't know the actor's name. And it was the guy from Schitt's Creek. And I was like, oh.
It's just like funny. I guess the whole point is that like, if
you're
going to be crazy, you have to be hot. It's like when it's like when you're like, I feel like when I was at a, like, okay, there would be situations where a guy comes up to you and says something. If he's ugly, you're like, you're so creepy. And if he's hot, you're like, hi. Like, it's so stupid.
That's just how the world is.
It's so stupid.
Right.
You cannot believe in Santa unless you're hot.
Right.
And that's really, unfortunately, how the world works.
You can get away with almost anything if you are hot. I don't know if it's funny, but we could talk about all of my trinkets.
Talk about your trinkets.
I like trinkets. Do you like trinkets?
Christmas is coming up.
And Christmas is coming up. And
Christmas is happening.
Today is Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow is Christmas. And the next day is December 26th.
And then December 27th.
Yeah. This does kind of relate to Christmas and trinkets and stuff, but I'm a trinket person and a tchotchke, a trinket and a tchotchke, and a little this and a little that. And it's... I like to have things that remind me of good, happy, fun memories or that make me smile when I see it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people look at it like it's junk.
Yeah.
And
like hoarding almost.
Well, not hoarding. It could look like, oh, what's this shelf full of things? But
I think I used to be like that.
But I was going to ask you, like, are you like a sentimental person when it comes to like, this was my pillow, and I need to keep it forever.
100%. I'm like,
this was the snowflake that first fell.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be like, one piece of glitter from this ended up on my shoulder from my second episode, and I like saved the piece of glitter forever, like a crazy person.
These are the mascots.
I have tried to get better about it though.
I have to get better about it.
You end up with a bunch of junk. I have saved like old cell phones, like flip phones.
And the boxes for them.
The boxes for them. But now I think that now that I have my own apartment and I can't just throw to my parents' house and like leave it somewhere that it will never be found. Space is more valuable to me now because there's only so much of it. Yeah. It's not unlimited. I have a tiny apartment. So now I'm like, I don't even have the luxury of being able to fit a tchotchke in this.
I want a storage unit now.
For your souvenirs and tchotchkes?
Well, recently my we had a roommate that lived here and a really good friend. He moved out and we now have a second bedroom that's open. And
did he move out since the last time I was here?
Yes.
I was wondering.
He's moved out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. Just kidding. We miss you. I was wondering why your brother was in that room. That makes a lot of sense.
So we have a guest room now.
You and Stevie live alone here.
We do.
That's so nice. This is a nice apartment.
Thank you. But that second bedroom, I'm like...
dangerous.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, slippery slope.
I was like, should we do like built-in bookcases around the window and like have it like gorgeous and have a nice place for me to display my cutie patootie things.
Because you like cutie patootie things.
And I think if it's organized and looks nice in like a closed glass shelf with like lighting.
Yeah.
Like around okay, this window, you guys can't see the whole thing, but it's a kind of like a bay
it's
window,
a big
sort
window,
of.
Yeah.
But like up here around on that space up above all the way down, just like a built-in bookcase. And then it makes the window even deeper.
Yeah.
And you could put like
yeah.
seating, and then it could just be like around and it could just
but
be
then
cute.
It makes the room smaller.
Right, but it's not a room that we're in.
Oh, that room.
Yeah.
You don't literally mean this
Not
window.
here.
I was like, you don't want to waste that space. Oh, cute though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think having, I have I have a changing relationship with like what I need to hold on to. I'm very, switch. Thank you. Swingers. I do like this one. This is also how I've been doing my
hair
makeup. Yeah, my hair. No, I swear to God. This is how I've been doing my hair ever since I've started mouth taping and sort of oiling. No, this is how I've been doing my makeup. I do a little bit of a cheek blush, a little pinch on the nose. ASMR. Oh, dude, I have weak.
I think you have weak hips and weak knees.
Oh, okay. I feel better.
Are you good?
Yeah, I feel better.
Here's my
let's hear it.
Spiel about it. It's like, if it makes you happy and it brings some semblance of a moment of joy to your day and isn't hindering your life, then I say keep it. For me, I will keep like concert tickets and other little like pieces of thing, and then I will shove them into books on the bookshelf. And whenever I'm moving or cleaning or doing something else and the concert ticket falls out, I'm like, oh my God, what a fun memory that was.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I still have that.
Like the Sabrina Carpenter ticket.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that.
But I think memories is what makes life good.
Yeah. That's what life is, ultimately. I have one thing really quick. Have you ever noticed that's like someone who has never watched your Instagram stories starts watching them and you're like, what are you doing here? I just have an ex-boyfriend.
How do you notice that?
Because it's an ex.
Okay. I was going to say, it has to be someone that you know.
It has to be someone significant that like, I haven't seen this name in years, to the point where I'm sure that I was like muted. Because I post all the time. There's no way that like this person never saw my shit. I must have been muted. I think I was recently unmuted. And I'm like, okay, I have this like ex.
It's because we started a podcast.
I mean, he heard about the podcast. No, but I have this ex that's now watching my stories. And two things about this. One, I'm like, this isn't for you. This is not for you. This is for the girlies and the girlinas. Like, this is a safe space. And you need to see yourself out.
Leave.
I don't want anyone watching my stories where I have to alter. Like, I hate having
Don't look at my stories unless you want.
Unless you can't even. Don't look at my stories unless you want to.
Wait, tell that story
Should
really
we?
quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even a story. It's just we love the bots that are.
So when we worked at MTV, there would be bots that commented on the accounts. That's how, because we didn't have bots commenting on our accounts.
No.
But there would be bots that would comment on the posts and everything. There would be bots accounts, like porn accounts, fake AI people, just being like
trying to clickbait
people to
you
click
to
on
go
them.
Yeah.
And like just commenting the most unhinged things. And like so Luisa and I would then comment on each other's stuff, the same shit. And it would just be like, don't look at my story unless you want to get wet.
It'd be like, but it'd always be formatted like, don't look at my story unless you wanna, and then all caps like, masturbate.
With a Z.
With a Z, like stars around it.
Yeah,
it's just
like,
the bots are out of control.
To my CUM, to my story.
It was always like the
wet emoji. The raindrops.
So gross. But it's also just like, who's seeing that and being like, oh shit.
Oh my God, I gotta click on it and subscribe right away.
I gotta get over there. Like, maybe it's working. Mm-hmm. Maybe we need to start commenting from the Should We Leave account. Don't watch our podcast unless you want to be so horny. You're going to freak out.
Unless you want to flood your basement.
Unless you want to flood the apartment building you live in, the city that you're in.
Unless we need to call 911.
And they're going to be like,
FEMA is on the way.
Yeah, we need to call PETA.
Why do we need to call PETA?
I don't know.
Animals? I don't know.
Because the animals are drowning.
No, what?
But
your ex is commenting.
My Instagram story is not for you. My Instagram story is not. The worst thing is when you have a crush or something and you notice that they're watching your story and you're like, oh, do I have to start like altering my personality now?
Keep it going.
No, I know.
Do you feel like you have to?
No, But I'm like, this isn't like for you. I just hate.
But you're public. You're public facing.
No, I know. But also it's like,
Is
I
it a
will
recent
say,
ex?
no, long time ago. And I'm like, what are you like doing here?
So they show up at the top?
This is over. Yeah. And I'm like.
You know, they say that that's the person who clicks on it first or looks at your stuff the most.
I know you're watching. I'm just kidding.
They are watching. Hi, what's their name? Tell us their name.
No, but here's the thing.
Give them a name.
They look at my story when I post me in a Lord Farquaad costume. I post my new headshots. Stunning. Nowhere to be found.
No, people don't want you to look good.
What's that about? People don't want you to win.
People don't want you to win.
I go, maybe, not that I care. This was like 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's interesting because he's the first name that pops up now. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Block
I post
him.
myself as Lord Farquaad. He's all up in it. He sends it around. Like, who knows?
Yeah, he
He's
probably
there.
sent 29 times.
He said, don't look at this unless you want to. But
he's into Shrek.
And then I post gorgeous photos, and he's nowhere to be seen. It's like, what's that about?
I don't know what that's about, but I say
keep going.
Keep going.
Just be me. I mean, yeah, of
just
course.
be you as you already are, and
I couldn't stop if I wanted to.
The haters are gonna hate.
I know. I can't stop. I mean, I have a problem almost where every thought that comes into my mind, I'm like, Instagram story.
Yeah.
Instagram story.
Can you tell me why you dressed up like Lord Farquaad?
Dude, it was for a work video.
That never aired?
It did, but it got no one liked it. And I thought it was so funny. It was me being like, I think I might get a bob. Like, I think I'm going to get a chic. And then it's like, boom. And it cuts to me just like in a Lord Farquaad costume.
That's funny.
I know.
Okay, but people don't want to see you win.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I said in the beginning of the episode. People don't want to see me on Broadway.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No views, Luisa.
Nobody wants to see me on Broadway because they can't handle it. And they know I should be there. People don't want to see me win. No, I feel like my friends aren't, now that we have you here, America, I feel like my friends are not.
Who knows? Maybe by the time this airs,
liking
we'll have
and subscribing, but.
A lot of followers, but.
Yeah.
It's not about the followers.
It's about the memories we made. It's about the trinkets we collected along the way.
It's not about the followers. It's about the trinkets we collected along the way. But
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, whatever it is.
Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Chrysler. And Merry Crisis.
And Merry Midlife Crisis.
And Merry Loobidaba.
Loobidaba.
Hippity Coopy.